All right, we are ready to start our animal plaque. So you are going to need your ticket, you are going to need a piece of paper towel, and you're going to need a pencil from the pencil bin. So the first thing I want you to do before you get your clay is you're going to need your paper towel, a pencil, and then you're going to write your name on your paper towel, and then you are going to put your teacher's initial. So if you are in Miss Belvedere's class, you might put a B, okay? So whoever the first letter of your teacher's last name is what you're going to put there, so I know how to mark your clay and know who your clay plaque is going to go back to. Once you have that done, I'm going to call you up by table number to come get your clay. And this is what you are going to receive. You're going to receive a piece of clay that's going to be about this big. Notice it's about the same size as the space you have here. So the first thing you're going to do is you're going to take that pencil and you are going to redraw your animal on the clay. Now we want to go very, very, very lightly. We don't want to dig in deep. So I'm just going to go, and that might even be a little bit too big. I'm going to move it back here. I'm just going to go very lightly into the clay. Now I want you to notice I'm not adding any details. I'm not adding this line. I'm not adding the pattern on the shell. All I'm doing is getting the outline of the animal and the legs. I'm just figuring out where the legs are. I'm not adding the background. Just the outline of the animal so I can see where my turtle is going to be. And remember, we talked about going nice and light, and we talked about making our animal nice and big. I'm not adding eyes. I'm not adding any details. When you draw, I drew very lightly. We don't want to dig in deep. If you dig in deep like this, then the clay is going to get weak. And do you see how that just pulls apart? We don't want that to happen. When you are drawing, if you make a mistake, let's say you draw something and you're like, oops, that's not the line I wanted to do. You can take your finger and you can erase it. Okay, but again, we're drawing very lightly. Once you have this done, you're going to get some clay, and I'm going to pass clay around to you. I'll give some to every table for you to share, and you are going to use your clay to create a relief. A relief is when you build up on something or you take something away. We're going to be building up. So I'm going to take some clay, and I don't want to be adding my body like this because that's not going to work and it's not going to stay. So we're going to take that clay and I'm going to make like a ball, and then I'm going to form that clay. I'm going to use my fingers to pinch the clay to make the shape that I am looking for. Now that's not big enough. It looks like I need to pinch it to make it come down here, so that's close. We're just going to keep using our fingers to get it in the right space. So do you see how that kind of looks like the shell? Okay. Now if I turn this, you're going to notice that, do you see how this looks like it's, whoops, do you see how that looks like it stands up? So that's part of the relief. We want it to really kind of stand up high up off the clay. I'm going to take some more clay, and I am going to, I can roll a thick piece of coil, like almost like you're working with Play-Doh, and this could be the head of my, that can be the head of my turtle. Now I'm going to add some legs. Again, another coil. This time I might make these coils a little bit thinner, and I can go ahead and add, there's one leg. There's another leg. And then I have my two back legs, which are going to be shorter. So there's a back leg there, and there's a back leg here. Now some of you, if your animal's close to the ground, you may not have a back leg. You might just have the two front legs, but my drawing shows the two back legs, so I'm going to put it in. And then I have the tail. Okay, that's going to come and stick out. Now that we have this done, we need to connect this clay to the bottom. And we don't want to do that by pressing down. If we press down on the top, we're going to make it flat, and we don't want it flat. Again, notice how it is standing up off of the bottom. It's nice and high. So we're going to take our finger, and we are going to kind of almost like we're sliding down a hill. We're going to take a little bit of clay right here. I'm just going to grab a tiny bit of clay, and I'm going to push into the clay, and I'm going to bring it down. Now, I'm not want to push hard, just a tiny bit. But I'm going to do this all the way around my animal. And do you see how I am making my animal now look like it's just part of the clay at the bottom? I'm not seeing any more of these little lines. I'm making those little lines disappear by connecting the clay. Am I pushing down on the top? If you said no, you're correct. I'm just grabbing a little bit from the side, and I'm pushing down. Now, once I have all of that done, now is the time where I can go in and I can add more of those details. I'm just going to finish up here. Now, I know I'm going quick, but I've been working with clay for a while, so I probably am going to be able to go a lot faster than you will. You will need to take your time and go slowly. Okay. Now we're ready to start adding the detail. So there's my tail. So now I can go in and say, okay, here is the shell. I can draw in that line for the shell. I can go ahead and I can add the shell design and the detail. If I want to make little feet, I can do my little paws. With my pencil, just by pressing in. And then I can add my eye. And I have to decide, I can add a little nose there if I want. And then I can decide whether, do I want an open mouth? I could either draw in a mouth, or I can take my pencil and I can push down, and now I have an open mouth. You see that? When you're done with that, we are going to add your background. So here's my horizon line, and maybe that sun that I did. Again, no kindergarten suns. Maybe I have some clouds in the sky. And then I add my birds. And if I'm on grass, maybe my turtle is walking through grass. I can use my pencil and I can kind of dig into the ground to make my turtle look like it's walking on grass. When you are done, you are going to carry with 2 hands, you're going to carry your clay plaque to me. I, not you, I am going to gently check your clay plaque to make sure there isn't anything else you need to do. I might say to you, nope, you forgot to blend, or nope, I want you to go add more detail. But if it is all set and good, I'm going to say, oh, this looks great, you're done. And I'm going to peel off the back. I'm going to put your name on the back of your plaque. I'm going to put the year that you made it, and I'm going to put your teacher's initial at the bottom. Then the last thing I'm going to do is I am going to add a hole at the top. The reason I'm adding a hole at the top is so that once these are dry and painted and you go to take them home, your parents or whoever you live with, people at your home, can put a nail in the wall and you can hang these up for a decoration, whether in your room or somewhere in your home. And so that is why the hole is going there. Once you are done, you want to make sure that any extra clay goes in the scrap clay bag and that your ticket gets put on a pile on my table and your clay pencil gets put back in the clay bucket. I will also talk about cleanup when time is ready, when we're ready, because the desks will also need to be washed off, but we will talk about that later. So that is how we are going to be making your clay plaque.